you're somebody's answer.
You're somebody. I was telling that to a friend on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys everything because I told her, I was like, look, at some point this has to stop being about you and your fears.
Yep.
Like, it is scary. Do it anyway. Because, and I use you guys as an example, and I use because people look into my life and they're like, you're packing this, you're packing. I'm like, I am deathly afraid every Sunday of my life. You guys do not understand. It's not easy to stand in front of a room with kids and tell them, it's just not easy. It's not easy to think that you have something to say on behalf of God. Yeah. It is not easy to think that you're going to come into a room of women who are like, I need you to help me. And fear is like, I've done this myself, but God cannot really help it. It is not easy. Yeah. But if you stop there, you never provide even the opportunity for God to show you beyond what you told yourself you can't do. You know, and so I was talking because she's afraid and, you know, like I failed in the past, like the past is over. Like, yeah, all your failures of the past will still be there, but you can still create successes of the future. Like, the past is the past, you know? Like, no matter how much you beat yourself in the moment, it's never going to change the amount of times you quit before. But it can change what you do now that changes your future, right? And so I'm talking to her, and I was like, you know, look. And I would show her some of the text, not the names, some of the text messages you guys have sent me about how you've overcome on the journey, or comments, and I tell her, this is why you have to keep going. This is why when you're afraid, and she has affected my life so much. She doesn't see how much of a blessing she's been in my life, but she has been. And I'm like, there are more Lianas out there that you have to do this for. Like, you have to follow your dreams. You have to push past the fear. You have to push past the apathy. All the voices that tell you can't, silence them and keep going, you know? And the reason why is it's not about you or how great you need to become, but because you're somebody's answer. Because there's somebody out there who God has specifically designed your ministry, your gift, your story, your journey to affect them. Monica, your journey is going to affect people that mine hasn't, you know, in ways that people have. Like, there is not one story that has affected the entire world. Because that's just not how it's created, you know. And so, if you don't decide that this is not all about me, sometimes you need a why beyond yourself. You know, that says, you know what? God's created my story specifically to impact somebody else. And every time I say no, every time I let fear win, every time I let apathy or discouragement or the voices in my head from the past, every time I let them win, I'm telling somebody else no.
Wow.
And when I think about that, I'm like, that is a lot of responsibility, but it's reality. You know, and so yeah, you want to do it for you, but it's not all about us. You know, some of you guys have kids. You know, like some of you, like, what do you want your story to be? How do you want your story told? And how do you want other people to benefit? Sometimes the best way people can benefit from your life is not something about what you do for them, is if they can sit back and watch you live.
Exactly.
Yeah. The majority of the people that I have grown from is not because they've done something miraculous, except they've lived well.
It's true.
And I can step back and I can say, you're not just saying it, I'm seeing you model it in your life, day in and day out. There are people that come up to me and tell me about how I'm like, whoa, you watching me? Like, you don't even know. You know, that can be a little scary, like, no pressure. But then like, whoa, like, this one lady commented on my Instagram, I've been following your videos for like the past such and such years, and I finally started my weight loss journey. And that, I just broke down. Like, for like 3 years, she watched the videos before she started. And what if I never created a video?
I know.
What if I never said, you know what, I'm going to be transparent? What if I never, and you don't always know what it will yield, but you know that obedience and will yield goodness. You know that taking ownership of your life will inevitably not just yield goodness for you, but then it becomes exponential. And you look up like, my one decision to not let fear stop me right here has changed the entire trajectory of my life and somebody else's.